Hey friends, welcome to another video. Today we are addressing a comment by Diojo SJ. So thanks for the comment. And he wanted to know what is the best or most effective army positioning and the mind process of creating a team for the main heroes. And this is a beginner middle range guys. So let's get into it. So basically you have your main heroes, and I'm just going to suggest right now the best heroes to have. I'm going to go to the heroes right here, and they're going to be obviously, I'm telling you right now, guys, if you're starting out or you're intermediate or whatever, the best heroes in the game right now currently is Celine is number 1. I'd say Chion is number 2. Probably Arthur is number 3. Maybe Ali tied for 3. And then you have Cyandioch, probably tied for 3. Davison 4. Davison and Kraken probably 4. Okay, so that's and Zeus is probably like 5th-ish. So those are your main heroes. If I was to suggest working on any particular hero, it's pretty much all the girls. The girls, for some reason, are overpowered, and they're really good. If you can, there's some top Cyandioch users, some top Ali users, or some top Celines and top Chions, but most right now are all Celine. So we're gonna get. So if you were to get a hero, those are the ones I recommend getting. And I'm going to make a video how to go about getting into those, because we're going to be addressing another comment that someone had. So those are the heroes that I recommend. Don't mess around with these other ones. Don't mess around with getting a Drake or an Ivan or all these other guys. It's pretty much going to waste your time. Right now they just can't really compete in the upper stuff. Maybe in the lower stuff you might be okay, but as far as I know, these other guys just aren't very competitive in the arena. So those are the ones you want to focus on, and just like one, or because I know once you get past like 15, in order to level one up higher, you need another one at level 15 or something. So those 5 or 6 you need to focus on. Okay, so now as far as the mind process of creating a team for the main heroes, the best or most effective army positioning. So I'm going to go back to my guys here. And what you want to take into account is each hero's like special ability. All right, so I wonder if I should just break this down each video for a hero. No, you know what? I'm just gonna go off. Okay, so you have Chion. Now her main strength, of course, is her ice, and when they're frozen, your troops do like 200% more damage. Also, does like slows down the enemy troops, and they have less defensively or something like that too. So the whole strategy is, and this is for most armies, you want to have a solid defense for the rear attack. Okay, so rear attackers are going to be coming at you, and those are going to be, magic apprentices, demons, and ghost assassins. That's pretty much the whole rear attack right there. But they can be really effective. So a strong rear defense is what you want to look at. So building this army, you look at my rear, the back line there. You have pirate ships, goblikazes, and a stone golem. Pumpkin guards can be good too, but sometimes troops run forward and they don't defend the rear. Stone golems, pirate ships are super slow, so they tend to get caught up, and they'll turn around and defend once the enemy's stone golem is dead. The goblikazes are really good for taking out ghost assassins. And if the opponent doesn't have ghost assassins, it'll take out their magic apprentices. So, all right, now you'll notice I have another row, and that's the range, and I got frost archers there. You can use archers, you can use Taurus witchers, I'm going to get into that as far as what you should start investing in if you're starting out, or what troops not to get and what troops you want to look at and how to get them in the best way to not burn money. So we're going to do that in another video because we had another comment. So I have this wall of frost archers and then the nuns right there. So the thing with the frost archers and the nuns is what you want to look at when you progress in the game. You have opponents that are really good against certain heroes. So Ali can be really dangerous against Chion if Ali's nuke takes out your Peltas. So what you want is you want Ali to nuke the frost archers and stuff. And I know the frost archer, they'll die, but whatever. I've addressed this in a video before, how to beat Ali with Chion, and you can go over that if you want. But the main thing is also the frost archers are going to slow. Hey, stop it. They're going to slow down your rear defenders from moving forward also. So that kind of wall of those range will just kind of move up real slow. And then the nuns are also real slow, and they will keep those frost archers from moving forward. Okay, this also, if you have slow troops that don't really run forward fast, and then you have your other, like the forward section that move forward, that's going to cause a separation between your troops, and this will cause like an alley nuke to only hit half your troops. And also, if you're lucky with a Chion freeze, is only going to freeze like half your troops or whatever. So half is better than most. Okay, so that is the idea behind the wall of range back there. Also, your range tends to turn around and attack. They're not just focused on the opponent's stone golem. They'll help attack those rear defenders. So I like the frost archers there, and the nuns will kind of start healing right away, and they'll keep those guys alive. Okay, so what you want in the front, I see a lot of new guys, and they have, you know, a whole bunch of different guys in the front. So look at this panda formation, for example. He's got a bunch of troops in the front that can be aggroed, that can be they're going to draw the attack of my troops. How can I explain this? So you'll notice as you progress that pretty much all the high-ranking guys have a single stone golem up front, and then they have the rear attackers next to them. You're like, okay, why are they all doing that? Well, that means his entire army pretty much is focused. The way they attack is whatever's closest that they can attack. That's what they're going to attack. And so once all my guys peel off to go attack his rear, once the Ghost Assassins and Magic Apprentices do, that leaves only that Stone Golem. So all his army is focused on the Stone Golem. All right? So we're going to do this. Watch. I'm going to attack and watch his guys close in on my Stone Golem. See? Look how they all funnel in right onto that. Can't really pause. You can see, but so they all funneled in on my Stone Golem, okay? And the Stone Golem is still alive. And as long as that Stone Golem is alive, see my rear attackers? You got Magic Apprentices, and you have Ghost Assassins still alive. All right, so we're going to go back into my thing, hopefully. And all right, cool. They gave us an example. So this guy's kind of got a little thing going on here. He's got some undead. So undead soldiers aren't bad in the back. He's got some pumpkin guards. He's got the Taurus witchers holding him back. He's got some frost archers in there and some nuns. So this guy kind of gets it. He's got some range in there as well. And he's got the single stone golem up front with the rear attackers that are going to go off the front line, and they're going to attack my rear. All right, so now if I attack him, my troops are going for his stone golem, and his troops are going for my stone golem. And my rear attackers are going to stay alive pretty much, and they won't be attacked by his guys until my stone golem dies, because his rear attackers are focused on my stone golem. So you saw when I fought that other one, the guys my magic apprentices were still alive because he hadn't killed my stone golem yet. That's why you want, especially with Ali, with Chion or Ali or Celine, if you can get all his guys into a small little bundle, see how like that last fight, they all went in on my stone golem and then my peltas and then my range and the Yashas and meteor golems are way more effective because all his guys are in a little bundle there. I know it's a lot to go over, guys, and I was going to address each hero, so I'm just kind of rambling on, but there's a lot of information I'm trying to pack into here that's going to help a lot of you guys. And once you understand that, you're going to progress a lot faster in this game. Once you understand why your guys, you're like, it's always frustrating. Like, why aren't my pirate ships turning around and attacking the magic apprentices? They're just marching forward. That's really frustrating. Okay, and I'm telling you why is because the opponent's stone golem is alive and your pirate ships are trying to kill them. All right, that's why your pirate ships just keep creeping forward and not throwing their pirate ships at the enemy's rear attackers. Now, to get your guys to turn around to kill those guys faster, you need to kill his meteor golem faster. So there's ways you can, or his stone golem, there's ways you can do that. You can make a formation that focuses on his stone golem. Once his stone golem starts hitting the ground, he becomes invulnerable, and he can take damage for days. Okay, so if you can stun him and kill him before he can start hitting the ground, then his rear attackers are going to be less effective. And that's why you see me attacking a lot of guys that have just a meteor golem up front or multiple things up front, like that panda. He had a whole bunch of different guys up front. As soon as one of those dies, one or two of those dies, my rear defenders are going to kill all his rear attackers. And not only that, his guys are still trying to kill my stone golem while my rear attackers are destroying him, and you saw that there. So this guy that here, he's just a random guy in the battles, level 8,000 battles, and you can see he's kind of got it. So with Chion, also, I might have to do a separate video for each one. This is going to be a kind of a breakdown, but it's going to be kind of long. What are we running at right now? 12 minutes already. Holy cow. Okay, so with Chion, Ali is one of her main opponents, and you want her to nuke the rear, so that's why I have it set up this. If you have more peltas than 8, it's difficult to not have Ali kill your peltas. You don't want your peltas to die. So whenever I make a new Chion formation, I do a practice run against Ali's, and I make sure that when Ali nukes, it's hitting my frost archers and not hitting your peltas. If she's hitting your peltas, you need to change your formation. I actually had to put in another nun in this formation because some of the time Ali was hitting my peltas. So the nuns help slow the thing down. Ali nukes where the greatest concentration of troops are, and with the nuns bunching up the frost archers and all that, she's going to strike there. Okay, so different troops, guys. See my peltas and my meteor golems, and I like my range to be back a little bit. It just depends. Generally, how you have the peltas are kind of up towards the front because they'll start getting in the action, and their range isn't as great as frost archers. So if it's got a little bit more range, you can put it back a little more, and they're still going to get in the fight. You want stuff to get in the fight kind of fast, but if you have too much stuff getting in the fight too soon, it can cause a traffic jam, and your guys can't get in there. So some of my formations have like a ton of meteor golems and Yashas up front, and a lot of the times they're fighting over each other, trying to get to the opponent's stone golem, and it's less effective. So it's something to think about. So if you have more range, they're not stumbling over each other. They can be hitting the guys while your meteor golems or whatever are trying to get over there. So sometimes you'll have a meteor golem, or you'll see a particular troop, and it just seems like it's not really doing anything. And that can be because it's trying to get to its target, and it won't attack until it gets to that target. And if it can't get there because other troops are away, it's just going to kind of run around, so it becomes kind of useless. And so that can kind of be the way that can happen there. So it's just a lot to think about. There's a lot to take in, guys. I hope this helps. And you look at your troops, and you have crowd control troops, which is troops that slow down the enemy's army. They might not do a lot of damage, but if they can slow or stun the enemy, that's reducing the enemy's damage. So that's why I have the Yashas up there. They go in there and they just start stabbing. Every other thing is a stun, and they hit like a big area. So if I can get all these guys' troops to attack my stone golem, and they'll go into that little funnel area, and then my pirate ship throws his ship and stuns a bunch of guys. My Yashas run up there and they just start stunning. And while they're stunning, my Peltas run up and start hitting them, and then my Frost Archers are freezing them, and my cannon is hitting everybody. And then the Meteor Golems run up and they start stunning too. And then the Dark Witch, because everyone is in one little tiny pile, he's turning them all into a pumpkin. So that's kind of the strategy there. Yeah, guys, there's a lot to take in. So I'm going to go to the next formation. I hope that helped out a little bit. If you guys have questions, just shoot me a comment, and if you want a suggestion for a video, I'll do it for you if I can. All right, so we're going to go to my alley formation, one of the top ones. And I use alley to kill mainly Chiones, actually, surprisingly enough. And you can see here I got the rear defense, got the Goblikazes. I like the Goblikazes. They're consistent damage. They stop the opponent's Ghost Assassins. I got my range in the back there, the Frost Archers. I like Frost Archers. Not only do they do high damage, but they also slow down the opponent. And if you can do damage and also mitigate the damage of your opponent, they're a good troop. So that's why the Frost Archers are the legendaries. What else? Okay, so I got more tanks in an alley formation. Okay, the alley's strength is she nukes for like 16,000. Okay, I mean, and then she's got her suicide nuke that like kills everybody that's on fire. So the longer alley stays alive, the more chance you have of winning. So with alley, you want troops that are going to stay alive. You want that's why I have more single load troops, stone golems, meteor golems, Yashas, but also you want alley's like main opponent is a Celine. So if you can stop Celine's Rhino Knight somehow from killing your army real quick, because alley doesn't really give a big defensive boost to her troops. So but the main thing is you want troops in there that are going to take some damage and stay alive while alley just nukes everyone into the ground. And this is kind of what mine setup is, to just try to stop the opponent's charge. I have the pirate ships up there to stun, and then my other guys to move in there and start stunning, and then the Peltas behind that. And hopefully you'll see that I have the Goblin Tech there on the right hand side, and that is crucial for alley. Alley likes to wander into the main part of the fight. You can put none there or something, but what I found the best to keep alley from running into the fight is putting that Goblin Tech right there, and he'll start laying down cannons. I made a video about this, but he'll start putting down cannons, and she can't run through the cannons to go get killed by all the enemies. So a lot of times I've won probably 10 to 15 fights now. Just recently started doing this by putting that Goblin Tech there, because it keeps her from going in and committing suicide. So it's come down to quite a few fights where she's sitting there behind cannon just nuking everybody while her guys are focused on a stone golem or something like that. So that is that, guys, with alley. That's kind of what you want to go with those particular troops. Now, most of the troops, I don't know if I got time to get into this. I'm gonna make another video, guys. This is gonna go too long. I'll make a video on the kind of troops you want, the most effective troops, what not troops you don't want to get. Okay, so we're gonna get into that. All right, my other let's do Cyandioch. All right, Cyandioch's strength is her troops get a big attack bonus right off the bat for a few seconds, and also she heals a lot. Okay, so once again, I have the stone golems there in the back, and I have Goblakazis. I got ghost assassins. Their DPS is high, damage per second is high, and they charge to the back and do a bunch of damage. Also, Cyandioch heals. She's got a crazy heal. So your stone golem in front is normally stays alive. So that means your rear attack is going to be pretty crazy. So with Cyandioch, you want your stone golem to live, to survive. You put your stunners up front, put your pirate ships, put your Yashas, put your meteor golems up front, because those things do a boatload of damage. She gives melee a big attack bonus too. So that's why I have not a whole lot of range and mostly like melee troops in here. Melee obviously is one that do like hand-to-hand fighting and not shooting stuff, projectiles or whatever. So with Cyandioch, your stone golems or whatever, I mean, your single load, your meteor golems, your Yashas, the ones with like a lot of hit points, sacred swordsmen, she heals them, and they just like, they're pretty much they're hard to kill because they just survive because she's sitting there healing them. So especially with stone golems. So your stone golem in the front, you want to keep him alive so your rear attackers can do it crazy damage while she's healing everybody. So Cyandioch, the longer she stays alive, obviously the greater your chance of winning. She's a big part of her troops, big part of her army, and she can really be quite effective. I noticed that the Orc Hunters and the Goblin Techs, they do good with her. Peltas, you'll see most of my armies have the same troops, and I'm going to get into that, but those are the kind of troops that you want to get and not waste your money on other troops. So that's kind of the idea behind Cyandioch. Let's move on. Who did we do? We did, all right, we got Arthur. And I don't have army for all the other ones. I'm going to just talk about the ones I do have for. So Arthur, his main strength is obviously the invincibility for a little bit, and then the heal for human troops. So you want a lot of human troops in his formations. Nuns, peltas, brawlers, pirates, magic apprentices, ice mages, all those are human troops, and they do really well. Brawlers, once they kick in their shields, they do high DPS, damage per second, and they are really hard to kill when they get their shields going, and especially if Arthur stays alive and sitting there healing them. So the whole strategy behind Arthur is to survive the main attack right off the bat. I got crowd control troops, crowd control as in witchcraft totems. They go in there and fear everybody, get them running around, while your peltas just get insane heals from Arthur and just kind of kill everybody. So Arthur's pretty crazy. I mean, if you had like a ton of peltas, the more peltas, the more brawlers, it seems the better. But you don't want to get too heavy, and it seems like too many of a certain troop is never good. You gotta mix it up a little, put a little bit of range in there to slow them down and stuff. So that's kind of strategy behind Arthur. A lot of human troops, a lot of kind of tanks. Arthur's main enemy is probably Cyandioch, Celine. But they can be beaten, and this Arthur might be the ticket to beat Celine, and we're gonna get into that too. Okay, so there's Arthur. Who else we got for our formations now? Oh, we got Celine. Okay, guys. So Celine, her big thing is she does that crazy damage mitigation right off the bat and attack bonus for her guys or whatever, and pretty much you win or lose in the first like 6 seconds of the game. You want high DPS guys, range guys that are gonna charge. You have to have Rhino Knights pretty much for Celine. So the Rhino Knights, all the opponent's troops focus on your Rhino Knights. Your Rhino Knights will run all the way to the back, and they'll take the entire army with them. So while your Rhino Knights charge forward and everyone else on their opponent's team goes after them, they charge to the back. Meanwhile, your ballistas, your peltas, your frost archers, your priest mages, your ice mages, they're all just nuking crazy amounts of damage on the opponent while he's in a little group. So that's why you see a lot of Celines with priest mages and ice mages and stuff, because they do group damage, and they do a lot of damage when they're all grouped up. And with Celine's bonus, and with the Rhino Knights getting everyone into a little pile, they do crazy damage. Same thing with the ballistas. And now with ballistas, you want them up a little more because they don't have the range. You want the range, the ballistas, to go all the way through your opponents. You don't want them to just hit the front line and the first three. You want them to go all the way. So that's why you see most ballistas in the front half of the army. So that's kind of with Celine. Lots of peltas are pretty good. Not too many. I think more than 8 isn't good, because then Chion can hit the front. You also want the frost archers and stuff, and the nuns and stuff in the back to. I know it's a little crazy to have like frost archers and nuns, but in the back and not a lot to defend against the rear attack. And you're like, what's up with that? Well, it's different with Celine because everybody's invincible pretty much for a while. And rear attacks just really don't bother her, because the nuns can sit there and tank for forever, for those first 6 seconds. And meanwhile, Celine and the frost archers are killing them. So rear attacks, it's really hard to do a lot of damage with the rear attacks unless you can kill her Rhino Knights fast. So that's kind of the breakdown with that, guys. Maybe I should make an individual video for each one. It might be a little easier. But those are the main heroes that I have. What else did we not get, guys? Who did we not talk about? Oh, yeah, Cyandioch, Celine, Chion. We didn't talk about Kraken. I'm not really versed on the Kraken. I know he's just a crazy, stunning machine. Davison, I'm not really good at Davison either, but I know with Davison you want a lot of troops, a lot of 9-load troops, peltas, undead soldiers, things like that, because they have reflective damage, and when they get attacked, the opponent takes a percentage of that damage, so that's what you want with that. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to move on to the next comment. If you want me to do a breakdown, if it was too much for that, if you wanted me to do a more in-depth breakdown for each hero, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to take care of that for you guys. Thanks for being patient with me. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.